Good morning, girls. So, in today's class, we are going to see this topic risk analysis. Now, this is the last topic, okay, for your second chapter. As in your Himalaya publishing, there are a lot of topics discussed which is not needed, which is not part of your syllabus. So, I've just chosen what is required and I am going to explain the same for you. Okay, so far we had been seeing in the previous classes what a business planning was, okay, and how this particular strategy or planning that which is made needs to be implemented. Okay, so in the last class we had seen the procedure involved in the implementation of such kind of strategies that which is made. So now the last topic is risk analysis. So what is this risk analysis? Okay, so what is this topic going to talk about? See, any strategy that which is made, any planning that which is made, okay, is completely out of a forecast. All right. So, of course, even though the forecast is done on a detailed analysis and evaluation, nobody can go into the future and exactly predict what could possibly happen. And at the same time, sometimes certain strategies, okay, might have been developed out of assumptions. So, success of a strategy is a big question mark. Success of any business planning, okay, that which is made is a big question mark. So, many a times business gets to face such kind of risks. Okay, so where it would not be able to measure, okay, how it is going to be successful at times. Okay, and even from the competitive position, whether it would be able to successfully implement these particular strategies is also a big question mark. Many times it becomes risky. Okay, when you call anything risky is when you do not know whether the strategy is going to be helpful for you or not, whether it's going to enable you to you know reach your goals or not. Okay, so strategy execution in any business is very, very important. It's very, very crucial. It's very critical. Okay, so there are different types of risks that a company might face. Okay, when it's going to probably make a strategy and implement the strategy. So many a times, what happens is the strategy that which is made might not reach the expected outcome. Okay, so that is the risk that which is involved in these kind of strategies. So let's see what are those risks which are involved or which are faced by a firm. So there are four types of risks that which is faced, girls, by a firm, especially in the successful execution of its strategies and planning that which it is made. So first one is called as the strategy risk, second one is called as the governance risk, okay, third one is called as the organizational risk, and fourth one is the people risk. So whenever a business planning is made and when it has to be executed, okay, so I've always told you it's made at one level of hierarchy. So usually the top level hierarchy makes the decisions, the planning, the policies, and the bottom level hierarchy is going to execute the same, isn't it? So there is a lot of risk involved in successfully implementing a business plan. But a business planning, of course, is an action plan. Okay, the strategy that which is made is in order to put it into implementation. But when putting it into practice, when putting it into action, there would be certain risks that the company faces. That's what we are going to see in detail. So, first one, like I told you, is strategy risk. So, what is a strategy risk? Strategy risk is nothing but when the strategy that you made itself is bad. Okay, the strategy that which you made itself is wrong, right? See, when I told you it is going to be an action plan, and when it is made, it should not be made out of any kind of assumptions. Okay, rather it should be made after a detailed analysis and evaluation. But many companies fail to do that. Okay, and they develop a very bad strategy, they develop a very poor strategy that which does not have that thing of being an action plan or an implementing plan. Do you follow? So first strategy, first risk that which we are facing, okay, as far as a business planning, a strategy has to be implemented, is the strategy itself. The strategy itself is risky, okay, when it is poorly made, when it is badly made, when it is not suiting the demands and needs of your organization. All right. So the next risk that a company will face when it comes to execution of its business planning and strategies is governance risk. So what is this governance? So I think you would have heard of this word corporate governance. So corporate governance is nothing but it is where, it is a system by which the companies are directed and controlled. Okay, so every company needs to be directed and controlled, and that which is done by your board of directors. Board of directors are only going to are responsible for the governance of their companies. Okay, while of course shareholders are also playing a role, but they are as far as these kind of corporates are concerned, when their what to say, their shares are issued public, so usually the shareholders are called the owners of the concern, while the board of directors, the promoters, are called as the management of the company. It's so two different things, isn't it? But still, shareholders of course have a role to play. Okay, as far as the governance of the company is concerned, many times their consents are required. But the corporate governance is basically done by the board of management. So that also sometimes can get risky. Okay, when the corporate governance is weak, okay, so when there is no proper system, when there is no proper what to say, organized way, okay, then also your strategies can fail. Especially the relationship that which is there between the board of directors, between the shareholders, okay, and the promoters, the management. So all this needs to be very good. So if that happens to fail, then your strategies also can fail. The planning that you made for your business can also fail. See, because of the chaoses that which can come in between people, the indifferences, okay, in opinions that which might come between people, and the relationship when is not good. Okay, so you cannot get your strategies implemented properly. So good corporate governance is very, very important. Proper rapport between your management, your shareholders, all this is very, very important. If that is not there, and if there's a lot of confusions, there's differences in opinions, okay, so your strategies cannot be put into implementation successfully. So that is yet another risk that which is involved. Now the next risk that which is faced is called as the organizational risk. Okay, so organizational risk is another risk that which is faced by a concern when it comes to executing its business planning. So what is this organizational risk? It's all about the structure. Okay, how your organization is structured, how its hierarchy is set. Okay, so who is the decision making authority and who are the implementing authorities? Okay, how to get things done, how the work can be done, okay, the delegating authorities. So all this, when the when the organizational structure, okay, so is not good, when the hierarchy is not good, again when there is no proper relationship that which is shared between the higher level and the lower level hierarchy is, when the relationship is bad. So in all of these cases, there could even be some kind of an organizational risk that which will confront a business organization when it comes to implementing its strategies. Okay, see, people need to work with each other. Okay, they need to as they are delegated an authority, they need to just accept it and execute the same. While if that is not there, if that is not done, that's going to create a lot of ruckus in the organization and can bring a lot of organizational risk, as a result of which your strategies cannot be implemented successfully. Then the next one is people risk. So people risk is also there, definitely. That is, first thing is, of course, your entire organization is made up of people, and it's not going to be one man show. So in a corporate, in a business organization, what the the entrepreneur thinks is going to be executed only through his employees, his people who is going to work for him. So it's not going to be like, you are going to get anything done by yourself as an entrepreneur. So when you're and also the management, if power is in the hands of wrong people, it can be misused. All right. And similarly, when you are going to make a planning and give it to certain people in your organization to implement it, and if they are not for that particular plan, meaning if they are against that plan, you cannot implement the same. Okay. And another important thing, if you are wanting some kind of innovation in your organization, and if you give your planning, okay, to those people who are not ready to accept the innovations, then also your planning can go wrong. Okay, as in your planning cannot be implemented successfully. There would always be some kind of an obstacles that which is brought forth by these kind of people who are not ready to accept innovation, who are not ready to accept change, who are not resistant to change. Okay, so people become one of the biggest obstacle, I should say, in the successful implementation of the strategies of a business. Okay, so the company must clearly explain to these people why they have made this planning. Okay, so for what they have made this planning, what is the goal, the aim, the purpose, what is that which is expected from them. Everything need to be very keenly explained to these people who are going to put your plan into implementation. Okay, so if people are not up to or for your strategy, or not up to implementing your strategy and bringing in lot of chaoses and standing as an obstacle to implement your strategy, that can become your biggest risk. All right, so people risk is another important risk that which has to be looked into by an organization while it is implementing its strategies. Did you understand, girls? So these are the four different types of risks that which is involved, okay, which a company needs to analyze, okay, take into consideration before it actually puts its plans into practice. Otherwise, like so much of time having spent on planning the business, okay, this the particular project, and then not able to implement it because of these risks is going to be an utter waste. So therefore a risk analysis has to be done, okay, as to where your strategy implementation can have a problem, and try to eliminate those risks so that your strategy is executed, implemented successfully. Did you understand? So this is a small topic, girls. These are the different types of risks. As I'm concluding, strategy risk, where the strategy itself can be risky, where the strategy can be wrong, the planning could be wrong because of not proper forecast, not proper evaluation and analysis, and done on the basis of assumptions. Then your strategy can fail because of governance, corporate governance. If you are not having a proper corporate governance, no proper relationship between the hierarchies, if there are a lot of chaoses between the top level and the bottom level of the organization, then definitely your strategies cannot be implemented. Similarly, organizational risk, okay, so where the organization, its structure, its hierarchy, okay, when the delegating authority, that also is going to be risky, okay, and that cannot help you in successfully implementing your strategies. Lastly is people. Your people are the ones who are implementing what you have planned. So when they are not going to be for the plan, when they are going to be against the plan, or when they are not supporting you, or rather when they do not are not resistant to change, in all of these cases what could possibly happen? They can stand as a big risk for your organization in implementing these strategies. Did you understand? So therefore it's very very important, okay, for all these business organizations to completely evaluate on the risks that which they are facing, analyze on their risks that which they are facing, and try to get in solutions and evade, try to explain its people, try to have a proper organizational hierarchy, and have a proper corporate governance, make a proper strategy. Only then they would be able to achieve success in their implementation of their planning. Did you understand? All right, so with this topic your second chapter is over. So if you'll have any doubts in this chapter, you all can ask me. As I've told you, Himalaya Publisher is got lots of information. I've just taken what is needed as far as your syllabus is concerned. Okay, so as per your syllabus I have taught you the topics. So with this topic we are done with second chapter, girls. Important questions I will discuss with you in the next class. All right, fine. I'll meet you all in the next class. Stay safe and take care of yourselves. See you all. Bye.